Hey guys, today I'm back with another video that I would like to show you, which is the copying the files or contents from one source into a destination. Yeah, I'd like to say what are this? What are the commands? What do they use for? Or how do they help us? And I will see also in a real life examples. So in Linux platforms, we like to copy the contents from one place to another places. One is just a copy using the cp command, a copy from source to a destination. So what is this doing is it only looks at what is in the source and then tries to move them into the destination. We can do in many ways of how we like to copy, but generally it always does one way direction, which means it only gets the content and then it tries to update the destination. If there is the same file, definitely it will replace it. Sometimes it's what do you call it? It prompts you, hey, are you sure, or something, but it just copy them. It doesn't try to compromise, doesn't try to sync, which means go back in the opposite direction, where, hey, I have this. If the destination says that I have extra, the copy doesn't worry about it. If there is an extra file or folder in the destination, the copy doesn't worry. It only worries about what is inside this source. So that's why we say copy is in unidirectional updates. There is another one very important files that important command that I would really think that we will use in different scenarios in our work, which is the rsync. Rsync is a syncing of two locations, the source and destination, which means now it's not anymore unidirectional, it's kind of a bidirectional, like, hey, I have this, okay, so what do you have? If you don't have this, it means I have to delete it myself, something like that, right? If the destination has extra, for example, if the source has less, if I say I can make them sync, which means we can delete the other one by let them compare themselves. Hey, you have 2, I have 3, so I'll have to delete the third one, the extra part. This is the rsync. This is the power of rsync. It's called rsync. So we'll see those two commands in today's. I hope today let me focus on the file, moving of files, because in the folder there might be an extra also discussion that we might need to do. So in today's video, I'll focus on copying a file and rsync files. Copying and rsync files between source and destination. Luckily, I already have 2 folders, as you might see on this left. I don't have to do even, I can show you here. ls and ls, I have 2 folders. Okay, those 2 folders, the one folder, the MoreInfo folder, has contents, but the other folder doesn't have. Okay, so I would like to copy those files into, I like the files of MoreInfo into the new folder folder using the copy. So I would do copy MoreInfo and then everything into the new folder. So I can even say here, I can even leave it there as well. Okay, if so, when I do the slash star, and I'm showing the content of all of it. Okay, and then into this folder. Usually to just confirm, make sure we like to do the dot, which means to that location, and so the name is the same. So I don't have to do that. Okay, so what we have now is all the files. See, all the 3 files are now copied into this another folder. So this is the power of file. I would like to experiment as well. This one. What will you see? Yeah. See, if I don't specify who are the contents of this folder, it's assuming I'm moving the folder by itself. No, I'm not moving the folder itself. I'm moving the content of the folder. That's why you have to do this way. You have to do copy MoreInfo, and then what are they? Star. Star means everybody. I even can say star.text, which is all the text file of this MoreInfo folder into the new folder. What do you expect to happen at this point? I think this shouldn't happen. Nothing should happen because the files are already copied. Because it just goes. It just finished without doing anything. Okay, so this is the part of the copy. I have to say there is a lot options that you can use. There's a lot. See here the copies, everything. There's a lot options that you can do, but options are always options. But I would recommend you to what do we call it? I would really recommend you to explore what are the other options. But usually in a copy, we like to do copy the source to the destination. But there are times also we like to, again, to use some of the options like force, like recursive, like interactively, like P. P is also preserve. See here, we like to preserve the mode of the source files, like if who is owner, what is the mode. So anyway, I think you get the idea. This is how we copy files. And then again, it's a unidirectional. I say unidirectional. How? Let me say this. Let me create echo new file in destination, and then I'm gonna do this new folder and force, right? Those text. So I got a force file here. So if I try to copy those files of MoreInfo into this one, nothing will happen, and then nor this force file will be deleted. Nothing will happen. That's why I said that copy is a unidirectional. What about the other powerful folder for the powerful command, which is the rsync? Okay, this rsync is very powerful when we want to sync 2 folders. Let's say deployment. When we are deploying from a new code into the servers, sometimes we like to sync, especially if the destination folder is a folder of the deployment codes only, not the generated or not the log. If there is no log, if there is no generated files existing in that destination, you would also you would like to you like to consider using this rsync. So this rsync is a syncing between 2 folders. At this case, for example, MoreInfo sync in a new folder. Okay, so if you want to use the content of the MoreInfo, you have to do slash. slash of the source slash and then the destination. That it will what? It will try to sync content of this MoreInfo and the content of new folder. Okay, at this case, see, it's trying to by default it's trying to consider it as a folder, which is not. So better to, we'll have to use let me close it. Better to do some of the options. So rsync. Okay, what are we doing? Let's say one of the option we can use is A, which is preserve the mode of the file system, all the attributes, you know, the attributes, the owner, all the stuff we see in when we do ls-la, for example, ls-la MoreInfo. So we like to preserve all those attributes. Okay, actually, yeah, those files, the attributes of those files. The other one is verbose. We like to know what is going on, because this is very powerful command, and we like to see what is happening, what is it doing, how is it syncing. And plus, if we see the source as a source of truth, which means we like to get copy we like to sync if the files are newer. We like to update this, guys. We like to update those files, the destination, which means if the file is newer that I just created or I just downloaded, and what I should consider updating also the destination, even though they are the same file, the same content maybe. Plus, the second one is checking out the check out the size. If there's everything the same, to some extent, if they happen to be the same, it will check the size, which is now actually rsync. Okay, -a, it's preserve all the attributes, which is a attribute, and v verbose, show me what you're doing. You update this if newer files, new contents is updated in the source. If they happen to be in the same timestamps, check the size. If the size is different, also take the source contents. Plus, like I mentioned, you may consider of adding delete if you think the source is as a full source of truth, where you don't want anything new staying or remaining in this new this destination folder that are no more in the source folders. Okay, so then that's where you're going to do the destination. Say MoreInfo, all the contents of MoreInfo to the new folders. You don't have to do slash. So what we're saying is, okay, hey, sync whatever is here, update them. Preserve the attributes. Show me what you're doing. Update if they are newer. Update them, which means replace them or something. And then delete if the file doesn't exist here. If no file exists here, make sure you delete them, which means the source is a source of truth. Okay, so at this point, what are we expecting? I'm not expecting to see any copy, but I'm expecting to see the sync, the deletion, the effect of deletion, which is the first file doesn't exist here. So since I want to take the content of the MoreInfo to be the source of truth, this first file will be deleted or removed. Okay, if you can hit enter, exactly the first file is no more there. plus also the verbose is showing me everything here. What is it showing me? Okay, it says send the incremental file list. Yeah, see, it's a back and forth. It's not a one unidirectional. And then also it's deleting if it doesn't exist, and then send this byte, receive this byte. So just information. Hey guy, hey, I have this information. What do you have? I have this, but I'll delete this guy. So it's there is communication. Okay, this is how I said sync is very, very, very powerful. Yes, of course, copy is also great. I actually use a lot in my deployment work, but I think it's a great idea to use also rsync. I think it's great. So let me do one more again, which means by removing the content of the destination. Now the destination is empty. I still have the files. I would like to see the effect of the this one, the A, V, and U. Delete won't have an effect at this point because there is no extra, because it's empty by itself already. So let's see that. See, sending incremental, and then now these three guys are sent information now, and then they will have to be copied over there. So one thing we can see is the attributes. I don't think I should have. Okay, if I see that, I should expect to see everything similar. See, 4, 45, 44. Everything, the attribute has to be preserved. Again, I really encourage everyone to dig more into this rsync, and then try to see if you guys want to use it. Because I really think it's a great tool. Like, see, if you do a sync help, you can see all this, all the other options that you would like to use. Plus, I see here is also you can also copy instead of SCP. I'm sorry, I might have forgotten to mention in the CP as well. SCP, this is secure between remote servers, not in the same box or OS or user. It's a good idea to actually to think about this one as well. So rsync is very also used in copying between servers. Okay, that's what I was mentioning as well about in deployment. You can even consider of deploying right away from your the build servers and directly into the destination servers. You can do all this either this way plus either this way as well, plus the port, everything. So I hope this was informative and helpful for you guys. I'll come back with the next video about moving and syncing a folder between source and destinations. For now, thank you. Bye.